Hey, Helen.
Hey, what?
Brand new studios. Same miserable old CJ. Well, honey. Well, honey.
Yes.
Well, honey.
Uh-huh.
Hey, honey.
Yes.
It did not take long to christen the new Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast Studios. The gag reel is already filled.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Welcome back, kids. We missed you. I hope you missed us. CJ Haddock with show producer H2, Helen Haddock.
Hi, guys.
This is the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast coming to you from an undisclosed basement in the North American continent.
Sounds so CIA.
An undisclosed basement. This week, oh my gosh, what do we got this week? I am a science experiment unto myself. We have actual audio of me out playing golf.
Dear Lord.
With a buddy of mine, Chad.
Did the trees survive?
A lot of trees were hurt in the making of that round of golf. You and I have some audio.
We do?
From a little while ago. Yeah, we're going to spring it on you. Get your comments on it, Helen.
Oh, boy.
This is you and I. You and I were out. We talked about going to Rite Aid to get plenty points. And also, we went out to dinner prime time Saturday evening.
Oh, you love those.
Happy belated Father's Day to all you fathers out there, including and especially my dad. Thank you to my kids, Bryn and Charlie, for their gifts, and Alex, my stepson, for some pretty cool stuff. What else, though?
He's a little rusty today, ladies and gentlemen. We got to give him a little.
You're damn right, I'm rusty. Speaking of rusty, happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's Day.
Honey, we'll give you a few minutes to gloat over the Penguins' Stanley Cup repeat as they prepare for a three-peat.
Oh, no, don't start.
We're going to talk about moving into the new house. All the
Nightmare.
nonsense that's happened. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Remember, guys, we're in a new studio now, new environment. Same old email address, painangercomedy@gmail.com. You know, you can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a review over there. We're also available on SoundCloud. Where else are we available, honey? Twitter.
At Pain Anger.
Pain Anger Comedy. That's right. And, of course, you can get episodes direct from our website, painangercomedy.wordpress.com. What a week. We are finally in our new studios. The house is still a mess, Helen. Your thoughts?
No, it's not.
No, it's awful. Go ahead.
Oh, please, listen. The only thing that's left unpacked are your books.
Well, right. We need shelves to put those books on.
Right, but everything else is unpacked. I'm not talking about the kids' rooms because I'm not going into either of those disasters.
Well, we'll get to those sons of bitches in a minute. But you feel like you're ahead of the game here?
I really do. I mean, it's been just a couple weeks and we're pretty much settled in. I mean, we're waiting for some furniture and things like that, but I think we've done a pretty good job.
All right, let's get this done already and out of the goddamn way.
Oh, poop. What are we doing?
Congratulations, Helen, on the Penguins Stanley Cup.
Back Stanley Cup champions.
Repeat.
They did it in 91 and 92. They did it these past 2 years. It's a repeat, baby. It's a repeat, baby. Don't hate. Do not hate. I'm going to say one thing, though. I think that my poor Penguins have become sort of the New England Patriots of hockey. And poor Sidney Crosby, he's like the Tom Brady.
Yeah, your poor Penguins.
My Penguins.
With all their Stanley Cups.
We can't hear you from the bling of the gold.
And poor Sidney Crosby with all of the talent he's got. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we did lose Marc-Andre Fleury in that expansion draft. That's going to hurt.
I'm crying for you over there.
I'm sure you are. I would be. Yeah, one thing I've learned about you throughout our hockey experiences together, watching and whatever.
I'm a bitter man?
You are a bitter Flyers fan, man. You give nothing. It's just like, I hate everybody. The Penguins. Like, you can't even be happy for... I would think that a spouse would be happy for a spouse being happy. You don't necessarily have to.
You're in good voice tonight, honey.
I am?
You are, actually.
Well, thank
I didn't
you.
mean to break your thing. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I really think that, you should be happy for your spouse. Instead, you're kind of like grumbling. You didn't even watch them win the cup with me.
No, I'm not happy for my spouse. I'm miserable because I'm a Flyers fan.
Yeah, well,
That's
I have
my
a
lot.
girl that I work with, and she's a Flyers fan, and she avoided me for 2 days because she didn't want to hear me tell her that we just won back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Let me ask you something. Are you bored yet with all the winning?
You could never be bored with the winning. Listen, the Penguins aren't expected to make it out of the East, and you know that because we did our standings.
Yeah, we did.
We did, and they were not supposed to make it out of the East. But guess what? They were like the little engine that could.
They made it out of the East, didn't they, Helen?
They sure did.
Fantastic.
And can I just talk about Nashville's fans for just a second?
Oh, no. Here we go. It's going to be unseemly.
It's going to be, well, you know what's unseemly? You and your attitude towards the Penguins.
You're going to hurt our fans.
I'm not hurting our fans.
In Nashville.
I'm not. And I'm glad that hockey is taking over a place that you would never think hockey would take over. God bless Carrie Underwood. But
Amen
the
to that.
catfish, really? Like, y'all go to some crazy lengths to sneak catfish into the building.
Well, they've been doing it with octopus in Detroit for decades.
That's different. That's sort of like copycatting, though. Don't you think? Like, get something original.
Yeah, I'd like to throw dead penguins on the ice.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't.
Anyway, congratulations. Could we move on?
We are the champions.
All right, fine. Enough. Congratulations to the Penguins.
Stanley Cup winners back-to-back, first time
Flyers
since the salary cap.
Busy this offseason, wheeling and dealing in a futile attempt to catch the Penguins, who will, I predict, in my first jinx of the 18-19 season, they will three-peat. Congratulations to Penguins.
When do you actually understand that your jinxes, they just don't work?
I congratulate them. When is the parade next year, Helen? Is there a parade date yet?
There's no parade date.
Sons of bitches.
There's no parade date.
Well, folks, we're in the new studio.
We are.
Can't tell you where. It's an undisclosed basement. But
An undisclosed bunker.
There's a little more room. There's a little bit more light. The acoustics, I think, are a little bit better. But we are, as I said, in the middle of moving into our new home. And Helen has done some unboxing. I have done some unboxing. But yes, my books. My many, many books, because I'm a learned man.
Right.
Remain boxed.
I think that you should get one of those smoking jackets like Hugh Hefner and a cigar and a brandy snifter and just my books.
Yeah, well, eventually, I imagine, before I die, the house will be done. We'll get into it later, but, the American dream is really the American nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. We're all suckers.
I hate to tell you, but you're complaining right now. I feel like should have a big old hashtag white people problems.
We're just all suckers. Owning a house is indentured servitude, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, it is nice to be in a home here with Helen. But where was I?
I don't know. You're like going around in circles. Did you take your Alzheimer's medicine today?
Here's where I was. The unboxing is started. The garage needed some work. We finally did cram the cars into the garage, right?
Yeah, because we had 8 gajillion boxes.
We're not living out of as many boxes as we used to, but we're still living out of some boxes. And,
like what?
Well, are we out of are the boxes empty? Well,
I hate to tell you, but I worked my tail off to get this house in order.
Okay, listen, whiny McWinester.
No, it's because you didn't do it.
If you look just outside the Pain and Anger Comedy actually, if you look inside the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast studios, you see a box there.
Who takes care of the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast studios?
It's my box.
That's right.
It's my box.
That's right.
I plead guilty to that. But there are also boxes out in the other part of the undisclosed.
Guess what they are all of?
I don't know. Pictures?
Stuff of yours.
Penguin stuff?
Oh, I wish it was penguin stuff.
I did a manly thing last weekend. I built some shelving.
Grar.
I proudly showed it off to Helen. It was quite a manly thing to do, wasn't it, Helen? Did you see how nice those shelves were built? Why are you laughing, Helen? Why are you laughing at my manliness?
Acting like you went outside and chopped down the tree and made the wood.
I went and I got a box from Home Depot that said...
and you banged some shelves together.
It said shelves for morons.
Yeah, you banged put the screw in and lined it up.
And I did. I also used a little bit of a hammer, Helen. That had to be attractive.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that had to be attractive.
You're trying to be a little manlier by cutting your own wood.
Yeah? Oh,
and
that's
your
right.
obsession with wood... being a woodchuck.
Oh my gosh,
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
We're chopping some wood here at the house. We have some woods in back of the house, and I've got some firewood, and I was out there splitting some wood, wasn't I, Ellen?
Right, you were.
And you looked down at me as I glistened in the sun.
And just about as you were about ready to fall over from a heart attack.
As I glistened in the sun, Helen, you looked down at me and you said, "Oh, wow, that man is mine, all mine." It must have been quite a scene from up there on the deck.
Oh dear, I don't know why you're obsessed with it. Like your firewood has to be a certain way. Like before we lived in this house and when I was by myself, I had a wood burning fireplace, and I'll tell you what, I bought those ready logs and tossed it. On occasion I would buy like the seasoned firewood at the grocery store or something, but it wasn't that big of a deal. You're talking about wood hissing and perfect sizes of wood, and
wood has to be seasoned, wood has to be dried, wood has to be ready to go into a fire. A fire is a work of art, Helen.
Okay.
The flame licking and flicking. Licking and flicking of the flame, Helen.
Are we talking about the same thing here?
And I like I like my firewood just so. It has to be just a certain size. I don't like these big, huge half logs going on the fire. It has to be the right size so you can manage your burn.
Right.
Manage your burn.
Yeah.
Are you looking at your phone?
I was not looking at my phone.
I think you were looking at your phone.
I was not. My phone is in my lap. I would have to turn it around.
That is an insult to the many listeners of the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast. Where are you two guys in Qatar, by the way? We've noticed you've dropped off. What happened?
Qataris.
Maybe it's something to do with the sanctions. I don't know. But we miss you over there in Qatar, so come on back. If I had my Arabic translation here, I would say come on back in Arabic. Anyway, Helen, talked about splitting the wood. Talked about how I'm kind of, very particular about the firewood.
Right.
It's an artwork thing.
Or also how you like to drive me crazy about the dining room table.
Oh yeah, we spent about an hour yesterday looking at you know what a leaf is, folks, ladies and gentlemen, a leaf.
In the table.
A table leaf, it makes the table longer. Well, I just couldn't decide about this goddamn dining room table, and we put the leaf in and we looked at it. We took the leaf out, we looked at it.
He's exhausting. Like, seriously, I wonder why I don't slip a Prozac in your orange juice in the morning. My grandmother used to do that to my grandfather. He had no idea that he had a Prozac in his orange juice every morning, but she so did.
That's good thinking. Gave
him a Prozac every morning in his orange juice just to chill out. You were standing there for over an hour, back and forth. Should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I? Yeah. I couldn't take it anymore. I was going to take that leaf and smack you upside the head with it.
I'm sorry about that, Helen. Now that we have moved into a house, a couple of repairs need to be done.
Like when poor Alex comes downstairs and says, "Mom, when I flush the toilet, the hot water steams my butt."
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but we're going to work on a roof. But also, we did have an interesting, curious thing of scalding hot water in one of the upstairs toilets.
You thought poor Alex was lying until you went up and experienced it for yourself.
A plumber came by, fixed that, but now we have scalding water coming out of the hose on one of our outside decks.
Which, by the way, you didn't believe me, and I turned the hose on, and it ran and ran and ran. You're like, "What? This is cold." And then all of a sudden, it goes hot.
Can you water plants with scalding hot water?
No, you're going to kill my poor plants.
Well, anyway, the plumbers will be back. They've been here probably, 10 out of the 14 days we've been in the house, so I'll look forward to seeing those guys again bright and early.
I think we should just give them the spare bedroom.
Tomorrow, they'll be here again at 8 o'clock. Yeah. I look forward to seeing those guys. Always cost me money.
Right.
Helen, what we didn't mention.
What's that?
We did mention the building of the shelves. We mentioned the wood splitting, but you forgot to mention to everybody how I designed my own support system for our California king-size bed.
Right, because it was divoting in the middle.
It was divoting in the middle, and every bed, including this bed, have these little supports in the middle, but they're very like one by one, wood columns. Well, I went out, Big Papa went out. And he went to Home Depot and he got himself some 4x4s. And I did these 4x4 things, and I have drilled
4 by
those.
Ford?
Ford by 4. We haven't broadcast in a while, Helen. I got these 4x4s, and I drilled those sons of bitches into the slats in the bed. And now there is no, what did you call it, divoting?
No divoting.
There's no divoting, Helen.
No. I didn't know that this was going to be the Praise CJ's work effort.
Well, I've just done so much, Helen.
Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast.
As I look back at it, one thing I haven't done is put a trash can here in the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast studios. I have nowhere to throw my shit.
I brought one down here. I don't know what you did with it.
I put that out in my manly shop area here on the lower level.
Oh, excuse me.
So I need a smaller waste can.
Well, I think you should invest in one.
I guess so. Let me see.
This is all the toot CJ's horn.
No, but
here.
you're bragging about unpacking the boxes. You did fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. The studio's finally up. It's fine. It's fine. How long has it been?
What
It's
is it, fine?
probably been 2 weeks, right, since we broadcast?
Yeah, about.
I can see you now over there. You can see me. How are you?
Can? Hello?
Houses suck, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone who owns a house knows that. The trouble might be that apartments just suck a little bit worse. So it's really a question of which shitty situation do you want to be in, right?
Do you want to have somebody come at your beck and call that you don't have to pay every time? Or would you rather own your own home and do whatever you want and then have to pay someone when something breaks?
Either way, you're getting separated from your money.
Right. Bye-bye.
Improvements. Son of a bitch. Improvements, appliances, landscaping, plumbing, roof. I mean, it goes on and on. It goes on and on. And now I'm starting to read through the same note cards twice because I don't have a goddamn garbage can.
I'm sorry that stinks for you, but if you were smart, you'd put the wasted ones to the side.
Yeah, and I got to do that now, but now I got to go through them.
Wow. Your cue cards. You need a cue card person.
All right. There we go.
To keep you on track.
Threw them on the floor.
Yeah, well, you're going to pick those puppies up.
Anyway, stay in touch with us. You know, we do answer questions. I was going to say viewer questions, but nobody views us. We do answer listener questions. painangercomedy@gmail.com. Remember that. Helen, how about an ad?
Let's do it.
I had one of these bad boys just the other day, honey. Sundrop soda. Diet Sundrop. It's a soda. A citrus soda, to be precise. It's a lemon, lime, orange trifecta of surprisingly good delights, which refreshes the taste buds. It is excellent soda, and it's got more caffeine than Mountain Dew. Remember that. I said that before. Diet Sundrop is also a Sundrop product. It's the fraternal twin of regular Sundrop. I don't know that they're actually twins. I don't think there's any DNA in Diet Sundrop. I hope not. They're not identical, though, because Diet Sundrop is low in calories, but otherwise it's the same wonderful lemon, lime, orange flavor, Helen, with surprisingly good written all over it. Actually, it just says Sundrop all over it. But was that funny, Helen?
Yeah, you're corny.
Helen, let's go back to the history of Sundrop. It was launched regionally in 1951, developed a passionate following in the deep, deep South, and it's created generations of deeply loyal Sundrop drinkers who are also strung out on caffeine. They know a good thing when they see it. It's rocket fuel.
Are they Sundrop E's?
It's rocket what? It's rocket fuel.
Are they called Sundrop E's?
I don't know. Sundropies or Sundroppers? Sundroppers. As time went on, flavors were added, the formula was tweaked, the fan base grew, and this indescribably delicious beverage could no longer be contained. At long last, the days of smuggling Sundrop across state lines are over. 2011 marked the year that Sundrop became available nationally. So clear some space in your fridge, boys and girls. It's time to get dropped. Sundrop soda.
The prohibition of Sundrop is over.
Sundrop has been freed. The Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast resumes right now. Stay right there. Don't move. Coming to you live from the new studios.
You know, the only thing bad about Sundrop is that you drink it, and even though you drink the diet one, you still get strung out on caffeine. So here's nutso you being strung out on caffeine. I'm surprised. You remind me, when you do that, you're like that little bouncy ball that when you sing a song on TV and it follows like the bouncy ball, that's you. Like boinga, boinga, boinga. I have to walk away.
What's that noise again? Can I hear?
Boinga, boinga, boinga.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting noise.
Mm-hmm.
I think the diet and this regular have the same amount of caffeine. I don't think that's what makes it diet. I think the sugar makes it diet. But
right, but I'm just saying, like, you just, even though you drink it, you're still like, you turn into like the Tasmanian devil.
Listen, thank you to my daughter for her Father's Day card and gift. Special thanks, though, to Charlie Haddock, who got me a book, which I forgot to bring into the studio. Son of a bitch. It's a great, entertaining book called Shit My Dad Says. Hey, Helen, over there, just run a quick search for Shit My Dad Says and tell me who wrote the book. Shit My Dad Says is a book written by this guy. Helen's going to tell me who it is in a moment. who wrote down some shit his father said. It also became popular on Twitter. He developed, like, I think 250,000 followers. But anyway, thanks, Chuck.
Justin Halpern.
Justin Halpern. Shit My Dad Says. Fantastically funny book. In honor of my father, I'm going to provide two things that I've heard my dad say in the course of my life that have stuck with me. The first one is, whenever he saw one of his children crying, he would say the following. Go ahead and let him cry. He won't piss as much.
Why can I see him saying that? I so can.
And, of course, my dad likes to tell the following joke that when I was young, I saw two dogs in our front yard interacting with each other, a male dog and a female dog, and I asked my dad what was happening, and he said, well, the dog in the front is sick and the dog in the back is pushing him to the hospital. So that's some of the shit my dad says. So thanks, Pop. Hope you're listening. And happy Father's Day again. Speaking of fathers, how about that Bill Cosby, Helen?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did you hear that he's going to do, like, these town hall meetings now about sexual assault and things like that?
Yep.
That's like me teaching someone how to be a cover model. Come on now.
And Tiger Woods is also going to do some workshops on how to drive under the influence of heavy sedatives.
Or pick up Perkins waitresses.
That's an old one. But
yeah.
Anyway, the cause was not found innocent. A mistrial was declared because the jury was, as they say in the business, hung.
Gloria Allred was all over that, man.
And I don't know, it's not a public affairs show, Helen, but I think, stop looking at your phone. That's rude to the fans. I think.
You think what?
I think they're, the district attorney here in Pennsylvania is going to retry the case. I think.
Well, I think that a lot of it has to deal with the fact that, he is Bill Cosby and he was America's dad for such a long time that you can't put that aside and think America's dad is drugging women.
After Bill got in that trouble, I'll never look at a pudding pop the same way again.
Well,
Someone should write a book about shit Bill Cosby says.
Well, I don't know if that would be a great book.
Speaking of shit people say, Helen's crazy brother Jerry was in town. Hello to Jerry if you're listening to the podcast.
Jerry.
It's very nice to have Jerry in town for a few days from Arizona. Jerry's always an interesting fellow here at the house. Always provocative, makes me think. So hello to Jerry. Anything about your brother, Helen, you want to throw in?
I just don't see him enough, and he should keep getting his tail out here.
Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that, Jerry, but...
That's because you don't want anybody in the house, you antisocial critter.
She's got keys to the house, too, so I guess if you come out here, you're coming in.
Yes, you are.
Helen...
One thing I do want to say about my brother is that, while he was here, he stayed with us, of course. He borrowed my car. That was wonderful. The only thing is, dear brother Jerry...
Here it comes.
When I went into my car the next day after you borrowed it and told me you put gas in it...
Damn.
I had not even backed out of the driveway, and the gas light came on. Now, what kind of shit is that? You couldn't have left me with, like, half a gallon or a quarter of a tank?
Uncle Jerry didn't say how much gas he put in the car.
Would you put, like, $3?
It could have been a couple of bucks. He didn't say how much. That's very, very wily and crafty of brother Jerry. He put gas in the car. He may very well have put gas in the car.
Right. I mean, he did drive down to Lancaster, as you guys say here.
Yeah, Lancaster.
But, I just think that it's kind of ridiculous, the fact that I got in my car and it was like, ding. And, of course, it was one of my super early shifts at the hospital, so it's 4:45 in the morning, and I'm miserable as it is to begin with. And, the last thing you want to see is the dinger for the
Here we go, the dinger again.
The dinger. You want to see the dinger for the gas light.
No, you don't want to see that dinger at all, Ellen, do you?
No. I love you, but put a little gas in the car.
Yeah, put the gas in the car. All right. One thing I forgot to mention, and we'll put this open. We'll make this a Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast poll. Should CJ buy a chainsaw?
No.
Send your suggestions and answers to painangercomedy@gmail.com about whether or not I should own a chainsaw.
No.
I have wood in the woods to the back of my house. Some of it is very large, needs to be cut. I think Helen probably doesn't want me to own a chainsaw. Is that right, Helen?
I'm not scared of many things, but I am scared of chainsaws. So
okay.
I can't deal with chainsaws. They freak me out. And quite honestly, I don't know that you have the physical dexterity to handle a chainsaw.
Well, did you not see me wielding that huge wood splitter in the backyard?
Darling?
Not powered wood splitter, but an axe. It's called a maul, actually. It's an axe, but it has a very fat back end. If it's fatter, so that when the thing splits into the wood, then the back part of the maul acts as a wedge, and it splits the wood, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
At any rate.
Yes, but you can stop that. A chainsaw is a little more dangerous, I think. I mean, I'm going to come out in the woods and find body parts of you strewn about.
I can't disagree with you. You know, if you make a mistake with a wood splitter, you know, you could hurt yourself. There's no question about that. But you make a mistake with a chainsaw.
Bye. I hope your insurance is paid up.
That's not good. That's not going to be good.
If you make a mistake with a chainsaw, say hello to Jesus.
You know, Helen, I'd like to thank the two kids here at the house, Alex and Bryn, for helping us with the move. I'd like to, but I can't, of course, because they were pretty much like furniture for most of the move.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't even know if they are done unpacking their rooms.
They're very stationary during a lot of the move-in day, I recall.
Right. Yes, they were very stationary, and
you and I were not.
hauling things up and down, left and right. I mean, I always have my little pedometer on through my watches, and I had hit 10,000 steps probably by noon. So, you know, blazing up and down steps and in and out and carrying things and coordinating things, and you know, they were just like, "Oh, we're so tired."
They're tired. What are they tired from? Do you know? Maybe going to the fridge? Gosh almighty. Anyway. I'd like to thank the kids for helping us move, but I would be lying if I did.
Teenagers.
Anyway, Helen, another thing we forgot to discuss.
Oh, boy.
And this first show back, as I'm showing some rough edges. You did not, or did you want me changing? We have some lights in our house with a very high ceiling, a 25 or 30-foot ceiling with floodlights in the top of the house. You did not want me changing those bulbs, right?
No, I don't think that that's appropriate.
Why not?
I think that you would probably crack the light bulb in there, and so then we would have to pay an electrician double the money to come out.
You mean with one of those extending pole things?
Yeah, a little pulley extender.
Well, I did some research on those things, those pole extenders.
Boy, this show, dingers, pole extenders.
And anyway, on these pole extenders, there's a danger of when you untwist it, you know, the suction on the tip of the pole extender doesn't hold. And
right.
What happens is you have a floodlight coming down at you at 30 feet, and oftentimes you miss them and they break.
Right, and then you'll have glass everywhere. But you'll break off, won't you break off that little metal part at the bottom, and it'll get stuck up in there?
No, that's only if you break it off during the act of untwisting it. But if you actually get it untwisted, but somehow then lose the grip on the bulb,
forget it. You're going to be finding bulb pieces until you move out.
We call those in the business bulb frags, Helen. Yeah. Bulb fragments.
Little bulblets.
My real estate lady, Joyce, hello to her too, suggested, well, you know, with lights like that, you have to call an electrician. I scoffed at that. I thought, well, that's crazy.
I'm manly enough. I could hang off the trees and do it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
How could a man call an electrician to change a light bulb? Well, God damn it. I wasn't climbing any scaffolding myself. I actually did call the electrician. These guys brought in this ladder. You remember this ladder?
Yeah.
Describe that ladder, Helen.
It was large and in charge.
Have you ever seen a ladder that big?
No.
This ladder was like, when it was unfolded and unfurled, it was a step ladder, but there were steps on either side. And the base of it, think of a triangle. I mean, the thing reached 20, 25 feet in the air, and the base of it had to be 15, 20 feet wide. There had to be like 20 feet between one side of rungs and the other.
My dad, God rest his soul, used to do like construction work, so he had a lot of like extension ladders. I've never seen an indoor ladder that large.
Yes, and so Helen said to the electrician, a young fellow, about 22, "I've never seen one that large." And of course he said, "Well, thank you, ma'am." So anyway, that's another little pain in the ass thing we're going to have to go through now every time a goddamn light burns out in that room.
Yeah, and you almost called them out here for nothing because you bought the wrong lights.
Yeah, I did.
Thank God he saved the day, and he had an extra one in his truck.
He did. And of course, I rectified that. I sent you back to Home Depot.
I sent you back to Home Depot. What, did you give me a tip on my way out?
No, you were just going out, I think.
Right.
Anyway, all's well that ends well, ladies and gentlemen.
We have light.
Right?
The good Lord said, let there be light.
We got light. Helen, I'm not like the other children.
The understatement of the century.
Can we agree with that?
Absolutely.
And so we're going to try something here since we're in the new studios on the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast. We're going to show you what it's like to actually be with CJ outside the studio.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
We have some audio. Helen would like you to jump in and comment on it of me both playing golf yesterday with a good buddy of mine, Chad. What is up, Chad? I hope you're listening. And I hope the podcast is sufficiently interesting to keep your attention. And we also have some audio of Helen and I out and about town. So without further ado, let's take you into a social experiment, what it's like to actually have a misanthrope like CJ Haddock. Look that up, boys and girls. It's a good word, a misanthrope, out in civilization. First, let's listen to a couple clips from my golf outing yesterday. And by the way, a much needed golf outing, Helen, because it's been very tense with the house, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been. And someone encourages you to play golf all the time.
And actually, that's why I said that, Helen, because I want to say thank you on air for being, you're a good wife in so many ways. I will be doing a special next week on all the reasons why you're a horrible wife, but in so many ways, you're a good wife.
I hope you enjoy the couch for the next longest bit.
One of the things I think are great about you.
Are great? Did you forget third
is that
grade?
You don't, if I go fishing, you're not a
naggy
a
wife?
nag. You're not naggy. If I want to play golf, but I haven't played golf in 2 years since you came into my life.
Well, some things are much more fun than golf. Like me.
Okay. Where was I?
Like this weekend, you played hockey on Thursday, hockey on Friday, golf on Saturday.
How about that? Dudes, all you dudes out there who are single, you can find a wife who is that cool. You can. They're not easy to find, but you can do it. You can find one.
Rockstar cred here.
I forgot a thought that I had. Son of a bitch.
You were playing golf for the first time in 2 years.
Oh, yes. Do you realize that since we got married, are you getting tired over there?
No,
you
I'm
yawning?
just a little.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Oh,
you people run me ragged in this house.
Since we got married, since we met each other.
Right.
The Penguins have not lost a Stanley Cup.
My boys are thebomb.com.
I think it's me, Helen.
You think it's you? I think you jinxing them? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it's torture for me, but for you.
It is heaven on earth for me.
So, again, let me jinx them early with a three-peat. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to some golf, shall we?
Okay.
All right, this is from yesterday. Now, pardon the sound quality of this because it was a little bit windy, but I still think it's an interesting glimpse. It's a glimpse into a couple of facts, which we'll review at the end. But let's see what we got here so far. This is CJ Haddock. It is Saturday, June 20-something.
You serious?
I'm out on the West Shore Country Club golf course with my good buddy Chad Charles Wilson of Select Tech IT. That's selecttechit.com. For all of your technical needs, Select Tech IT. We've let two groups play through so far on the second hole. Chad and I have a philosophical disagreement. Chad, do you feel you're on the earth also?
Yeah, I'm on the earth.
Chad feels he's on the earth. And
Also, I am on the earth.
And he has no obligation to let anyone through. I'm different. They annoy the shit out of me, so I wait. More later. Chad. Now, for those of you who don't know what you know what playing through is, if you're playing golf and you're on a hole and there's a group that comes up behind you and they're playing faster than you are, golf etiquette, courtesy, requires, not to require, but it suggests that you allow these players to simply play through. You simply stand to the side.
I wouldn't know because golf puts me to sleep.
Okay, well, this story is fascinating. So you let these people play through. One thing I hate is being rushed when I play golf. I hate when groups are up my butt, so to speak, if I'm trying to play. If I play at a certain pace and, these people are zipping along, fine. Just go through. So play through. But Chad and I, as I said, had a disagreement. And the way he put it was, hey, man, I'm in the world too. Like, I live in the world too. Like, I can play.
Poor Chad.
Yeah, I know. Well,
he had
anyway.
to spend how many hours with you on the golf course
So
alone?
anyway, We let two groups of people go through, and then after that, it was smooth sailing. It was not rushed. It was a lovely afternoon. Let's hear what else we had to say.
Still steaming about letting these people play through.
I am steaming.
So far today, I've confirmed that I hate golf. What about you?
No, I like golf. I just suck at it.
Yeah. Okay, there's a second observation.
When you last played golf, if I remember correctly, you played in North Carolina with Charlie.
Yeah.
And you broke one of your clubs in
shit.
anger.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I'm glad
I don't understand why people play this sport that they get so heated about.
If you can figure it out, Helen, you can win. You can earn tons of money writing a book about it.
Crazy.
Men are crazy about it. I did bust a 5-iron across a tree in North Carolina last time I played golf down there. I was so frustrated. And as you heard my buddy Chad, he loves it, but he's not good at it. And he's not bad at it, but it's just very frustrating. You have free time. So you go out and you decide to go frustrate yourself by, having this golf ball not go where the hell you want it to go.
Right. And then you have to wear funny shoes and...
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's
ridiculous.
So I think coming up here is a reaction Chad had to one of his golf shots. This is a good one. Listen up to this. That could be... Oh, you said a dirty word there. I'm going to have to beep that out. That was my man Chad reacting to one of his shots. You couldn't hear his voice, of course, because the word he said was not for mixed company.
Yeah.
But you hear that a lot in the golf course, contrary to popular belief where you think it's all white pants and courtesy. It's very frustrating out there.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of F-bombs flying around.
Oh, Helen, you don't know the half of it. Anyway, let's see what else we got. What are you whining about? It could be all the way down there, dude. That's your ball, believe it or not. I told you it was a prodigious wallop. Now let's take the 6-mile trip back to where my ball is. That was a big one. A prodigious wallop is what I called it. He can't hit the ball a long way. So anyway, my man Chad, thanks again for playing golf, and we're going to do that again. Actually, I was dreading it. I really wasn't looking forward to it, and I ended up having a blast. So we're going to play again.
You dread a lot of things, and then when they happen, you're actually like, if we ever have guests, you dread it, and then they come, you have a good time, and then afterwards, after they leave, you complain about why you complained before they came.
Absolutely, 100% true. Guilty as charged.
I mean, you make my life miserable when you find out somebody's coming. Miserable, bitching and moaning and griping about it. And then somebody comes and you have a great time.
Well,
and
don't
guess
let
what?
Don't let that secret out, though, honey. Don't let people know that I actually have a good time, because then they'll hear that.
People will come.
They'll think they're welcome. Mm-hmm. For those of you who want to come and visit, send me an email at painangercomedy@gmail.com, and I'll send you a very polite declination letter. So let's do it that way, including my parents and any of my brothers, sisters, children, aunts, and uncles. All right. Where were we? Do you have anything? You really are not really doing anything over there.
I'm not doing anything?
Give me something. Come on.
Are you kidding me? I've been sitting here adding very funny side notes to everything you do.
Yes.
Like 10 minutes ago, you said I was on fire, and now you're telling me I'm not doing anything.
That's true. I did say that.
You were spending all your time over there doing what men do, which is bitch and moan about golf shots.
Part of the reason I played that clip was to show that I actually do have friends.
One.
And that I do get out of the house.
Sometimes.
And also that I can spend 4 hours or more with a single human being and
not commit suicide.
Right. Right. And that was an enjoyable time. So I'm going to be doing it again, and I'm going to pay more attention, see if I can get better sound on some of the dirty words that are used.
I think that you should go fishing with him. I think you two and a pair of waders on a stream somewhere would be highly amusing.
We're going to actually, I think we're going to do that. But also I'm going to try to drag Chad in the studio. Once we get a third mic in here, I think we're going to drag him in to see, have him sit in maybe for a little bit.
You should have had Jerry in here is what you should have had.
Could have had Jerry in there. We could also get Jerry in on the phone, though.
Yeah.
We have the phone technology somewhere.
You just make sure you have that beeper going on high alert, because Jerry's going to be every other word.
Oh, you mean with the swear words?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Helen. Another time I was actually out in society. I feel like we're talking about like experimenting with apes, like primates.
You are. It's
CJ
like
is
stepping out.
is
the
out.
marsupial is out of the house.
So this actually is a sound that remained in the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast warehouse for a few weeks
Okay.
And you'll remember it probably, Helen, when you hear it. Helen and I went out one evening. She wanted to stop at the drugstore. There were 2 drugstores, CVS and a Rite Aid.
Yes.
And let's listen into what happened.
This will be a new feature on the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast. This is called CJ and Helen Out and About. How are you, Helen?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Helen, could you describe what just happened when you wanted to go to Rite Aid so you could collect your stupid plenty points?
You refused. There was a Rite Aid and a CVS right across from each other, and I asked you to go to Rite Aid, and you refused to go to Rite Aid. And I'm a cold medicine away from 2,000 more plenty points.
That's a shame. But I'm not going to cross traffic twice just so you can get your stupid plenty points. All right?
Could have turned left.
Left and then back out across traffic. Forget it. We're going to the CVS. It's easy. It's quick. Piece of cake. Bing, bang, boom.
You know what? We could have gotten something for our money.
Now that's the CJ I love right there.
You sound like such a jerk ball in that clip.
Yes, I do.
You do.
Am I that jerk bally, or am I not that jerk bally?
No, I wouldn't have married you if you were that jerk bally. You're trying to act like a hard beep, but it's not the case.
It's not.
No.
Well, I don't like your stupid plenty point scam.
Listen, it is not a plenty point scam because I've gotten so much crap for free, like at Macy's. My bill is $0.00. So I hate to tell you, it is a Rite Aid miracle.
We've talked about this before, I think.
We have, and you've just been
on the
as
show,
obstinate as you were before.
You see, what happens though is you overpay for your shit at Rite Aid.
I hate to tell you, I don't overpay for my shit because I look things up. I hate to tell you, I know how to save some money.
All right, whatever. That's not the point of the clip.
Buy one, get one free.
The point of the clip is, that's the CJ we all know and love. That's the CJ who is the heart and soul of the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast. You can hear the pain and the anger.
There is no pain in there. That is just bitterness.
No, there's pain.
There's no pain.
There's pain, baby. Hold on. What else we got? I think we have another couple surprises
dear
here for
Lord.
you. It looks very full this evening. Howie.
Oh, yeah. I got to set that up. After that, we went out to dinner. And I live my life off peak.
You do live your life off peak.
And this was an on-peak, out-to-dinner Saturday night. This is what happened.
Well, it's a Saturday night.
Yeah, we are living on peak right now, baby.
I know, normally you can't deal with it.
No, I can't deal with it. But I'm sick of being miserable at home, and I'm out and about with my girl. More later.
I like how it's just like 2 sentences. More later.
So there you go. I do go out occasionally on peak time, but the trouble with going out on peak hours
is people have to see the leash that I put around your neck in order to control you.
And do you remember this particular night?
I do. We went to Duke's, I think.
Yeah, we should name those places.
We shouldn't?
No.
We're giving them publicity.
Yeah, but then people will stalk us.
I don't think anybody wants to stalk us. We
Look,
have like
Helen,
2 listeners.
there might be stalkers among our 6 to 8 listeners.
Okay.
You don't know.
Yeah, okay.
This is the hilarity that ensued in the restaurant. Let's go to the audio.
All right, well, Helen and I are at the bar now waiting. I never come out this time of the day on Saturday. Never. Now I know why. Because you got to wait for a table. You love it, though, don't you, Helen?
Not necessarily loving it, but I like watching
You're loving it.
reaction to everything.
You mean my hatred and contempt for everything and everyone around me?
Pretty much. The fact that you have to be within elbow's distance of someone is kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't like that. I have a long, large personal space area. It's about 6 to 8 feet. What's the normal radius for normal people? 2 feet?
I would think so. You like your circle, you like your bubble of space to be more like a globe than a bubble.
I do.
Can you hear, ladies and gentlemen, all of the human beings in that place? Can you imagine my agony at just being in this mass of humanoids?
Listen, a lot of people are antisocial and a lot of people are introverts. There's nothing wrong with being antisocial and being an introvert. I would prefer to be in the house rather than outside the house, but you got to give them a little breathing room here because these people are living, as you said, as Chad said, they're living on this planet too.
They're on the earth. They're
Yeah.
on the earth. That's a good point. Wait, that's an excellent tie-in right there.
Yeah, I got some skills.
That's good radio right there. You tied that in to Chad's "I am on the earth"
Yes.
declaration.
Yes.
That's going to become something on this show, I think. Hey, I am on the earth.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget about poor Chad.
So anyway, all these sons of bitches out to dinner, and I did want to establish and show that I actually can be taken out in society. You know, it's like taking out some sort of crude ape out into society that we have to play audio of it just to show that it's possible.
I feed you bananas under the table.
Now, am I a bad person?
You're not a bad person. You project this persona of being a bad person. I think you get off on that, and I got to tell you, like, sometimes it's, it'd be nice to see, like, you take down that wall.
Let me ask you something. How do you know, like, this isn't really me? Like, maybe this is me.
Trust me. I know it's not really you.
Are you sure, Helen?
I'm positive.
Are you willing to tell this audience of 6 to 8 listeners?
Of 4 to 6 listeners? Yeah, I'll tell them.
That the CJ Haddock, the gruff, angry, grouchy CJ Haddock is not really that CJ?
Yep.
Well, I think you're wrong, Helen. I think you're wrong. Because that's when I feel I'm at my most natural.
Is when you're a big grumble butt?
You know what takes a lot of energy? Being nice to people.
No, it takes a lot of energy being grumbly.
Oh, they're just all pains in the
It
ass.
takes more muscles to frown instead of smile.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, you have a perma frown.
My muscles, perma frown.
You have a perma frown.
Another gold star for you.
Exactly.
You just
I'm not doing anything, right?
You invented a word right there, perma frown.
You have a perma frown.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I prefer to go out to dinner Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
I feel like we're 90.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to be asking soon for the specials.
Let me show you the flip side. I mean, we don't have to go at 3 o'clock. We could go Sunday or Saturday at 10 o'clock. You know, that's off. That's becoming off peak.
Well, listen, I just think that I'm not a huge fan of waiting either. I mean, I have very limited patience, but I just think that, every once in a while, it's nice to go out when everybody else is out.
You know, honey, I do want to say that in a lot of ways, and this is also true of my mother and any woman who has spent any length of time with either my father or my brothers. You really are in some ways a saint to put up with all of the nonsense.
It's insanity.
It's difficult, right? It's a lot to put up with.
When I took my marriage vows, they said at the end, they were like, and here's your bottle of Ativan and your unlimited amount of refills. Yes.
I have a note about that last clip. It says, CJ's zone of privacy, love of something. I can't read the word. Love of clouds?
Circle of space? Bubble of space?
Love of clowns. I don't know. Can you read that number 3 there?
You can't read your own and I'm supposed to read it?
I don't know. Can you read it or not? Love of...
Crabs.
Crowds.
Crabs.
Crowds. Love of crowds. Crowds.
Is that crowds? That looks like
Yeah.
crabs to me.
Crabs. The clips aren't about crabs.
I hope you don't like crabs.
Love of crowds. That is a very awful R right there. Love of crowds.
Right.
Honey, what do you have over there? What do you want to talk to the people about over there? All right, sister, go.
So this is a problem that we're kind of going through right now. Whether you just want some privacy or you want to make your room a little darker, you don't have to take out a second mortgage to get brand new custom blinds from blinds.com. You and I both know what we've gone through trying to find appropriate window coverings.
Awful.
And they're so expensive. No one understands why they're so expensive. You can make over any room in your entire house just by going to blinds.com. They have made it so easy. Yes, interrupter.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you what you don't want, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want your bedroom windows to be uncovered. Let me just leave it at that. Go ahead, Helen.
Exactly. Blinds.com makes it easy to pick out and order new blinds fast. They're affordable and it's shockingly easy. They'll walk you through measuring and installing every step of the way with their 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you make a measuring mistake, husbands measure twice, cut once. If you make a measuring mistake with your blinds, or if you pick the wrong color, they'll remake the blinds and send them out to you for free. You want samples? They're free. Shipping? Free. It's all built into the price. Whether your level of confidence in following instructions or even a measuring tape, The design consultants at blinds.com will get you on the phone and walk you through every step of the way. Do they have one of these people for how to raise a teenager?
No.
Every step of the way?
Don't you wish?
They'll answer your questions and even send you instructional videos. However you want to interact, however you learn, you can't get this wrong. You can get made-to-order custom blinds without paying custom prices online at blinds.com.
Thank you, sweetheart. Blinds.com. We'll be back in 1 second. Not really 1 second, but several seconds. Oh, honey, thank you. It looks like you did make all kind of scratchy, scribbly notes all over the ad copy. Thanks very much.
I don't make scratchy, scribbly notes on them.
Blinds.com, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on, Helen? You have anything? I mean, I feel rough. I feel like I'm going to spend a lot of time in the editing room on this one.
There's going to be a lot of gag reel stuff on this.
Do you think so? Or I don't know. I didn't really swear that much.
You've been in the whole time.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
You know, Helen, before we go, a couple of things I read this week I just wanted to go over. A couple of oddities. Would you like to go over a couple of oddities before we say goodbye this week?
Okay, sure.
Listen to this. Check this out. Man killed while mixing explosives at home. Now, that's not so... I mean, okay. You've heard that before. That happens.
I don't understand why people still do that, but
yeah,
sure.
but listen to this lead. Listen to this lead sentence from Associated Press. Maine investigators say a homeowner died in an explosion in his basement where he was experimenting with explosives.
Obviously, his experiment went wrong. I mean, obviously, it went wrong.
Helen.
Yes.
You made another funny over there.
I did.
You shouldn't, if you're going to be handling explosives in your home, Helen, I think you probably would not want to experiment with explosives.
I mean, you're just, you should have a level of confidence and understanding of how these chemicals interact and not go kaboom.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like there's some dude in his basement, some 67-year-old guy who says, "What happens if I mix this with this?
What
Kaboom."
if this blue chemical mixes with this green chemical? Will it give me a yellow chemical?
Now, not to make light of the situation, obviously the man's wife lost a husband. She told the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF folks, that he had the materials because he was trying to blow up stumps.
Really?
Tree stumps.
You can't get one of those, what are they called? A wench, dench, or whatever they're called?
A wench?
A wench,
Stump
wench.
I've known many wenches, and none of them have been able to get rid of tree stumps.
Right, they only wanted you for your peg leg.
Did you mean winch?
Winch, is that what it's called?
I know you didn't mean wench.
Well, they're called I know my brother used one once, but they're like stump eaters. Like they go in the ground and eat the stumps. Now, I don't know where you will put the explosives to
I think you just sort of tuck them in underneath and then,
wouldn't that shit just fly everywhere?
That seems like fairly violent landscaping.
That seems like a man, no offense, men, but that seems like a man just wanting to blow some shit up.
Well,
I mean, that's all that is.
You mean looking for like an excuse to just light some shit on fire?
Exactly.
All right. Helen.
Yes, dear.
You ever been in a courthouse?
Sure.
You ever go to the bathroom in a courthouse?
No.
Okay. Officials in Arkansas have made a plea for courthouse visitors. Please stop urinating in our elevator.
Oh, my gosh.
This is quintessential Arkansas for those of you in and outside of Arkansas. Craighead County officials hope new security cameras will deter the steady stream of culprits
Steady stream.
who have been relieving themselves in a courthouse elevator in Jonesboro. And the next part of this sentence actually solves the mystery. Jonesboro, a college town about 115 miles northeast of Little Rock. Well, that little mystery's been solved, hasn't it, Helen?
Yes, it has. Some people just been drinking a little too much alcohol.
Yeah, but what they doing in the courthouse?
I mean, they probably get for public intoxication or something, and by the time they get to the courthouse, they're half sobered up and peeing wherever they can pee.
That is something. That is something there. So we've solved that crime. Maintenance workers said the problem has persisted for years.
That's disgusting.
Even though, check this, restrooms are only about 25 feet from the elevator.
Maybe there's some badge of honor. I peed in the Jonesboro courthouse elevators.
I don't know. Maybe there's T-shirt sales attached to that. I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, these folks down in Jonesboro are upset. They've installed cameras. And if you do get caught relieving yourself in an elevator, it's a disorderly conduct fine of $105.
Did they make you clean up your pee too?
That is an expensive PP.
Right, but did they make you clean it up too?
I don't know.
That would be really nasty.
Article doesn't say.
Gross.
And lastly, Helen, because we're homeowners, I caught something that caught my eye this week
Oh boy.
about the joy of owning a home. This comes from North Carolina. The Raleigh News and Observer reports that a man in Orange County in central North Carolina got a water bill for $189.92.
Okay.
That's not so bad, except the bill also contained a service charge of a little under $100 million.
What?
The Water and Sewer Authority of Orange, North Carolina, Mr. Healy, the guy who got the bill, said he asked Orange Water and Sewer Authority on Twitter if he could make installment payments on the service charge.
Yeah. On the $1 million service charge?
The utility company said an outside company sends reminder emails to customers and that it was a mistake that was made on one of the bills. Anyway.
I would say so.
Could you imagine opening that up? You know, I hate bill day.
You know what used to aggravate me a lot was when, like an electric company, if you paid in advance, because I was a little OCD about my bills, I would try to pay them in advance. When they would send you a bill and it'd be like for 17 cents. Now, a postage stamp is 40-something cents. So it cost you more to print this out rather than just say, I'll tack it onto the next month's bill.
That's an excellent point, Helen. Very wise observation.
Which is why they have all those hidden fees and,
Wise observation, although I've never seen a hidden fee of $100 million.
That'd be kind of I wonder if they will refund him.
That is something.
That's a crazy bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks again for listening. You've now gotten about an hour of content from us. Please bear with us as we're in the new studios and getting to know the corners, the nooks and crannies.
I thought you said the coroners. I was like, why would we know the coroner?
We don't, not yet here in the pain and the anger here in the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast Studios.
It's controlled.
It's
controlled.
It's controlled anger such that coroners are not needed at the present time.
Exactly. It's like how I control you when we're out in public together.
Folks, exercise your writing muscle. Send us an email at painangercomedy@gmail.com. When you're hanging out on Twitter, our Twitter handle is @painangercomedy. We post tweets and we also post links to the episodes. Mm-hmm. Helen, dear.
Our tweets are funnier than Donald Trump's.
What should folks do when they go to iTunes, Helen? What should they do?
They should rate us and subscribe.
Excellent. We're also available on SoundCloud, and of course, you can get episodes directly from our website, our dedicated website, painangercomedy.wordpress.com. No T-shirts yet, but I have a feeling they're coming. T-shirts and mugs. If you've seen our Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast logo.
That would be really cool. I just thought about that.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
Maybe something. So anybody who wants a T-shirt, mug, or some sort of giveaway item, let us know. Send us an email, and we'll see what we can do for you. I didn't really think of that either, honey.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's some publicity.
You know what, dude?
What, dude?
Helen, dude.
What, dude?
It's good to see you over there in the producer's chair. It's good to be at least in the new studio now, the gear unpacked and everything. And say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
A big thanks to you, honey, for not falling asleep.
Well, I'm really glad that I didn't fall asleep. A little tired.
I know it's late, and it's been a busy couple of weeks, but thanks, folks, for listening. We'll be back next week. I'm certain of it. And hopefully I'll be a little bit more on my game, but we hope you had some fun. Right, honey?
Absolutely. We're here to entertain you. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, and if you have an idea or a subject you'd like us to cover, or better yet, ask us for advice, because we have no idea what we're doing.
No.
So we'll give you some patently bad advice.
Right.
Send us that email.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Just don't ask us for parenting advice.
Right, exactly.
Because I'd tell you, this is why animals eat their young.
Sons of bitches. Helen,
Yes, dear.
stay angry.
Stay funny.
All right, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Be
Peace
good.
out.
My queen.
Yes.
New studio. Same miserable CJ.
The noise. Where's the thingy?
Helen, my dear.
Yes. Did you forget what you were going to say?
No. Hey, remember now, we are in a new studio, new environment. Pain and anger. Fuck.
Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be a long podcast.
I should probably turn off the music at some point.
You should.
I was going to say I named that mall Helen, but it's just, I'll cut that out. But it has a back end. It has a big
I
one.
hope you enjoy the couch tonight.
It has a back end. Anyway, this is a hilarity. Let me say it again. What did it say? Wait, what?
What? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The service charge. Oh. I get it. Humorous. The guy who got the bill is a little bit of a jokester because it says he asked Orange. He asked Orange.
What the dude?
He, as I'm sure you do, I know you do because you get all the clothing, Macy's and whatever bills and hoard them.
I hate to tell you,
hide
but
them.
I barely spend any money. So before you go half-cocked over here talking about bills and everything else,
All right, girl.
listen.
Okay, girl.
Slow your roll, playa.
All right, so anyway, bill day sucks anyway, but could you imagine opening an envelope, seeing that shit?